Hey friends, Journal Girl here, aka Sammy. You might notice a little bit difference around me today, and that is because I had a really good day on Friday. I got a lot of projects done, personal projects that I had been wanting to work on for a long time, like the journal covers. I shot and then I edited 2 videos. I don't know, I was all over the place. And when you have a good day, you usually don't really stop to think about the fact that you need to pace, you need to take breaks, all of that kind of stuff. So I didn't. And on Saturday, I was going to film a video about pacing, and I really, really didn't feel good. So that didn't happen. And then yesterday, I ended up doing a lot of packing and had a friend come and help me with a lot of packing and had a very emotional day because we were pulling out a lot of stuff from like my dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family, marriage certificates, photos, all those kind of stuff of relatives. I should probably add to ancestry. So today's a little different because I just don't have the energy to go into the office and film a whole video and then do a lot of editing. So I thought, why not do a video about pacing? And one of the things I've noticed is that I used to go to a lot of like scrapbooking crops and meetups with other people doing planners or art journaling or just creativity, stuff like that. And we would all get really into it. Like we would all be chatting and we would all be looking at each other's stuff and we would all be working. And I'm the person who's always talking more than actually working on stuff. And what would happen is you would get to a point where, you'd run out of, pop or soda and you'd have to get up and everyone else would get up and you'd get up and you'd be like, oh man, first off, I'm hungry. Second off, hydrate. Third off, my back really hurts. My legs hurt. My hips hurt. Whatever your thing is. So it is something that's not just for people who are spoonies per se, but just anyone who's sitting in the same position for a longer period of time. And I found that it's just really common with people who do a lot of art journaling and a lot of creativity. So I can't promise that this video is going to have a ton of editing. I might just throw it up. Hopefully the audio is okay. I have the microphone right next to me. But I wanted to kind of go over pacing. Part of it is for myself, to remind myself that I've put myself in the position I'm in today, which is I'm like actually getting like physically sick, like I have the flu. And the other thing is to remind everyone else that pacing is part of normal life for everyone. It's not just people who are spoonies. So one of the things that people probably don't understand is that if you have, like for me, one really good day, like on Friday, it's going to take me 3 days to recover. It goes back to the spoon theory, where if you are someone who's a healthy adult, you might have 10 spoons to get everything you need to get done through the day, whereas I might have 5 spoons and I have to figure out, well, what things that, have to get done don't get done because I don't have the energy. And if you have to get everything done, like I've been doing the last few days, you borrow spoons from the days, coming up. Unfortunately, it's kind of like doing that and then getting overdraft fees. And then, you have 3 overdraft fees and you're out like $105? I have Chase. I don't know what you have. And you feel like crap. And then any money you put in there, you have to give back some of it because you've borrowed from it already. One of the books, the book I'm looking at is actually called, it's The Diagnosis and Treatment of Chronic Fatigue Syndrome and Myalgic Encephalitis, by Dr. Sarah Myhill. She's a doctor over in England, and she has a lot of really great stuff. And one of the things that she talks about is the symptoms of pain and fatigue arise when energy demand exceeds energy delivery. So basically anybody whose energy demand is over the energy that you have or the energy delivery is going to start feeling these symptoms. And if you don't pace properly and slip into energy debt, then you get stuck in an energy poverty trap created by this loan shark, which is where I was talking about how like you have overdraft fees and all of that kind of stuff. She goes into like ATP delivery and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just like, I can't, I don't really understand that. But one of the things I did learn from this book, and something that I started utilizing when I was in the office still a few years ago, is that when you rest, when it says take a break and rest, that doesn't mean go sit somewhere else and look at your phone. It doesn't mean turn on the TV. It doesn't mean pick up a book. It doesn't mean talk to someone on the phone. It means go somewhere, make it darker, lay down, because the heart, doesn't have to do as much work, and you're just resting everything. Because if you're looking at the phone, you're still using mental energy, you're still having light going into your eyes. If you're listening to music, you're still, having your brain working. And so basically what you want to do, or, what I do, is what she talks about, which is, do 10 to 40 minutes of activity. So work in your journal, do art, do page layouts, whatever. Work on a project for 10 to 40 minutes. And I always have to set timers because with ADHD, I have no concept of time. And I wouldn't know how long the videos are if there wasn't a little time thing on here. And then rest for the same amount of time. So if you worked in your journal for 30 minutes, then go and rest for 30 minutes. This isn't necessarily the same for everyone, but if you're somebody who has less spoons throughout the day and you notice that you're feeling more and more fatigued by the time the evening comes, this might be something that you want to do. If you are someone who is going through long haul COVID, same thing. Long haul COVID is very, very similar to what this is. The other thing she says is vary your activity. So make sure that you're doing different activities that are using different parts of your brain, different parts of your body, so that not one part of your body is fatigued. And, it can be hard, and when I talk about this stuff and pacing, I always mean physical and mental, because having a mental illness is just as difficult as having a physical illness. Sometimes it's harder because people can't physically see what's going on. But the thing is with pacing is just to remember that being super excited about what you're working on is fantastic, but you can't do it at the expense of yourself, because like now I can't really do anything. So here is one of the things I really love, and I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm probably not going to edit this video down. It's called the 10 Commandments for Reducing Energy Expenditure, and I think this applies to everyone. I think this is something that all of you watching need to remember, and apparently this goes to one of her patients, Sylvia Waits. It says, "Thou shalt not be perfect, nor try to be. Thou shalt not try to be all things to all people. Thou shalt leave things undone that ought to be done. Thou shalt not spread thyself too thin. Thou shalt learn to say no. Thou shalt schedule time for thyself and for thy supporting network. Thou shalt switch off and do nothing regularly. Thou shalt be boring, untidy, inelegant, and unattractive at times. Thou shalt not even feel guilty. Thou shalt not be thine own worst enemy, but thine own best friend." So, if you are a spoonie who's doing art and everything like that, sometimes you're going to have to do it in bed. Sometimes you're going to have to not do it. Sometimes you're going to have to remember on those good days that, hey, I still have to take breaks. This is still who I am. And if you are a healthy adult who's working on stuff, remember to take breaks. Your back's going to start hurting in that chair. Your eyes are going to start to strain. The reason my glasses are tinted yellow is they're blue light blocking, and that helps my eyes looking at both the computer or the phone screen, and I'm watching YouTube as I sit here. Use mobility aids when you need to. I have a table that's over my bed, which is how I'm filming this, and just remember to be thine own best friend. Just remember that nothing has to be perfect, that you can walk away from things. And you don't want to be like me, who had a great day and got all these wonderful art projects done, and now for 3 days I can't really do anything, and then I kept doing more on top of that, like packing and such, and now I'm just I'm down for the count today. So thank you all for watching. Of course, like and comment. I'll try to respond to comments today and make thumbnails because I'm just laying in bed. But remember to have grace for yourselves, and that's what I'm remembering right now, is that I want to make videos to help other people, but that doesn't mean they need to be perfect, and they don't need to be beautifully edited all the time and all of that kind of stuff. Sometimes just talking to somebody and giving them information is all that you need to do. So with that being said, I am going to upload this and get back to resting and probably take a nap, even though I've only been up for about 2 hours or so, and play loads of Sudoku, because that's what I do. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're having a great day today, I hope tomorrow's an awesome day as well, and if your day is not the best like mine, hopefully we'll have a better one tomorrow. Bye.